Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about Viltrox AF 40mm 2.5 Nikon Z or Nikon Z mount. It's a great new lens from Viltrox, and I've been like really happy to see Viltrox producing or giving us photographers and videographers great lenses on a discounted prices. In last years, they had more releases in more premium segment, but they came back to budget-oriented lenses, and they are setting new standards for budget-oriented lenses, both in case of optical quality and build quality. But let's talk about the details. 40mm is a great lens. If you're looking for walk around zoom, invest in 40mm prime lens and good shoes. And this is one of my favorite focal lengths, but about that a little bit later. Let's talk about build quality and overall impression that this little guy gives. It's a great lens, honestly. Everything works pretty fine, pretty smooth. 52mm filter thread, which is very universal and very popular, so it's possible you already have some 52mm filters there. Metal mount, which is great. No weather sealing, which is expected at 180 grams and this price tag. And you have USB-C upgradability option here, which is great. And Viltrox already is doing it with every lens they release. In comparison with Nikon 40mm f.2, it feels way more cheaper, way more plastic, and even the focus ring doesn't work as smooth as here. Plastic mount, it's just basically not that refined, and no upgrade option through USB-C. So Viltrox in that case is better. However, let's talk about most important things, which is image quality. Image quality wise, those two lenses are pretty similar, I gotta say. I would say Nikon is a little sharper, but slightly sharper in the middle, a little though softer in the corners. However, the performance of these lenses is very comparable. However, focusing on Viltrox in the middle, open up to 2.5, you can see some softness. I wouldn't focus that much on sharpness, more on the drop of the contrast, which is more and more visible toward the corners. Nothing dramatic there, but something to keep in mind. Of course, top down, it's getting only better and better. At 4.0, practically all the problems are gone. 5.6 is practically perfect. But yeah, that's a good performance. When it comes to vignetting, I was expecting some more vignetting here. However, this parameter is controlled very well on this lens. So open up to 2.5 vignetting is very pleasant, very very easy to remove in post-production if you want to remove vignetting. Of course, as always, at 4, 5.6, the problem is practically gone. Work against the harsh light. This is the category where this lens is not performing that great. But wait a second, I'll explain. So you can see halo effect around the source of the light. You can also see quite extensive flaring that gets even more visible towards the corner. However, when taking photos against the light with not direct light not hitting the front lens, it's okay. It's really not dropping contrast too much. So if you are shooting with a source of light directly to the lens, yes, it's not the most pleasant looking, flaring. However, if you are not shooting directly against the light, but contrasty situations where the light is, hitting the object from the back, it performs pretty well, I gotta say. So no complaints here. Where I could have complaints is bokeh and how this lens perform when it comes to unsharp part of images. Bokeh does present a little bit of cat eye effect, which is understandable. It's a 7 element shutter, so yeah, that's what it is. However, the bokeh does have onion ring effect. There's some patterns, so I would call it a messy bokeh. However, having said that, I kind of like it because it reminds a little bit of vintage lenses. So that's something to keep in mind when you choose this lens, to take a look at this bokeh if you like this look. But there's nothing dramatic there. However, that's, I would say, the weakest part of this lens. Where it performs really well, it's autofocus, which to me is much better than on the original Nikon f2.0. The STM motor just performs very well. It's very responsive. It's pretty quiet. So that category is very, very good. Of course, it depends mainly on the camera's autofocus system. However, it does cooperate pretty smoothly. So with my, in this case, Z7 Mark II, it performs very well. Now, another category here is like focus breathing, you know, focus breathing. In this category, this lens shines because it's practically negligible. It's like a very good lens if you're looking for that particular 40mm type of thing for your video work. Then yes, this lens performs pretty good. Now let's talk about geometry, because geometry is a very important part of the lens optical quality, and in this case, like, it's already sorry, also negligible. Geometry of this lens is almost perfect. There's pretty much no pincushion or barrel effect distortion visible, so that's spot on. When it comes to chromatic aberration, you can definitely see some chromatic aberration when opened up to 2.5. There's a little bit of bluish and purplish color cast there. However, of course, it disappears at 4.0. 5.6 is practically perfect. When it comes to close-up, this lens can close up to 35 centimeters, which is not that close, but at 2.5 images are pretty soft, so I would definitely recommend to stop it down. 4.0, you're good to go. So close-up is not the best category for our Viltrox lens. So overall, it's a pretty cool lens that can be used in many different situations. Oh, I didn't mention coma and stars. So stars look pretty clean and beautiful in this lens to, you know, give a little bit of sugar on the top or frosty on the top. They're big, beautiful, bold stars, clean, so that's a good thing. And coma is also very like small, very little. So if you're more into, you know, night shots, night type of photography, is that the right word in my poor English? Probably yes. So then this lens performs pretty well. So overall, it's a very, very nice lens, and I'm very happy Viltrox is releasing those lenses, because for that price, honestly, it is a bargain. It is a steal. So combined with Z7 Mark II in this case, which is a very cool camera, and I'm really expecting Nikon to release version 3 with 10-bit recording, internal recording of videos pretty soon. However, having said that, I gotta say that this small full-frame body with this small lightweight 180 grams lens is a very, very nice combination for traveling people. Big, nice screen. Very, very easy to use, good autofocus system, and I'm really hoping to see it also on Sony mount and Fuji mount, maybe one day on RF mount, but I don't know. However, having said that, I would love to see this lens on other mounts. And one of the reasons I like this lens a lot is 40mm. So it is a refreshing thing for a photographer that most of us are used to 35 and 50mm to use 40mm, because it's in between. It changes your perspective. It kind of forces you to work differently. So I see a lot of photographers, even professional photographers, grabbing this one as an extra lens in their bag to just refresh the perspective, to just refresh their photography. That's my take on Viltrox 40mm 2.5Z. Hope to see it on other mounts. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If yes, please thumbs up. Please comment below if you have any questions regarding that or any other lens, or you have suggestions. What tests would you like to see on my channel in the future? And of course, like always, I see you guys in the next video. Cheers.